Welcome to the software journey with GKey. Power BI classes with real-time interview questions and answers. Class 26. When we have to use calculated tables in Power BI.
In this part of training, we are going to discuss about when should you use calculated tables in Power BI. A calculated table is a table created using DAX. It is not important from a source point of view, but it is generated during the data refresh and stored in the model. See, to create a calculated table in Power BI desktop, you have to get into modeling tab and then you have to click on new table. Then DAX query window is to open. There you can write your DAX to create a new table. This is the visual thing that we can do. I'll show you these things practically in Power BI desktop. And coming to the different times we are going to create a table. You should use a calculated table when you need a table created from other tables. That means if you have already connected to particular data sources, if you want to create other tables based on that data source or already existing table, then there is an option. By using union of tables, filtering tables, or joining tables, and creating summary or aggregated table, these are different examples that we can do on already existing source that we have in Power BI. We'll see these things practically. First I'm in Power BI desktop. I have connected to financial sheet, which is from financial samples data. It is having these many columns here. To create other tables based on this data, I have different queries with me, like DAX queries. First we'll see union of tables. For example, this is the DAX. I'll explain you here. To create a new table, we have to get into model and you have to click on new table. This DAX query window is going to be opened here. See, here we have a data like 2013 and 2014 here in my financial sheet. Here I'm trying to filter the data. I'm trying to filter the data from financial sheet. I'm taking 2013 first and I'm union it with 2014. In this way, I'm just going to create a separate table called financials union. See, now the financials union got created with all the columns inherited from the already existing data source or a table or data set. In this way, we can create a union of table. And second approach is filtering data. Filtering data also I have a query that we are filtering data here. Here also I'm trying to create a new table. See, this is I'm just using. I'll give you this sheet in the description part. You can use this like calculations or DAX queries directly for your practical purposes. Here I'm trying to get the high sales financials from the financials table. That means it will give you all the columns, but the sales is greater than 1 lakh or something. In this way, we are going to create a separate data set that is to have all the data with sales is greater than 1 lakh. In this way, we can create a separate table by using already existing financials data in our data model. And coming to the third scenario, that creating a summary or aggregated table. I'll explain you this thing as well here. In the same way, I'm going to create a new table here. You see, here we are trying to create a table called financial sales summary. Here it is summarizing the columns like financial country, financial segment, and these are the two columns, measures or columns that are going to be created: total sales and total profits, sum of our financial sales and sum of financial profit on these columns, sales and profit. This is the sales and profit. These are the two columns that we are going to create based on already existing columns in the financials data. We are going to create this separate data set here. Now it got created. See here, country, segment, total sales and total profit. Country, segment, total sales and total profit. We have created a separate table which is having country, segment, total profit and total sales. For example, if you want to visualize these things, you can take it as a table, and in this way we can visualize the data. This is how we can create a summary table, summarized tables based on some of the measures and some columns taking from the data source which we have connected. The second method is when you need a bridge table for many-to-many relationships. To handle many-to-many relationships, I have a dedicated video created in our channel in the Power BI questions and answers. You can go through for that. For example, calculated tables are often used to create distinct key tables like a customer bridge table. To create this one, we can have distinct sales customer IDs. The many-to-many relationship is existing in latest versions of Power BI desktop, but if you are getting into the more detailed calculations, it will give the ambiguity. In such a scenario, we have to avoid this many-to-many relationships. For that, we are going to create a bridge table, and we can avoid that ambiguity while working with the different calculations. We got a separate dedicated video. You can go for that. In third approach, when you need to create a custom calendar table. For example, if you want to work with time intelligent functions, you have to create a calendar table. This calendar table can be created in Power BI desktop level and Power Query level as well. And by using the calendar function, this is the different date. By using some initial and incremental dates, we can create a calendar date. For this, I have a DAX query with me. We can, by using that one, we can create a table. So here, to create that one as well, we have to get into the modeling view, and you have to get into the new table. And this is how I'm trying to create a calendar. See here, I'm trying to create a calendar which starts from 2019. In our calendar, we are having data from 2013 and up to 2014. I'm just referencing to our financials data. This is the minimum, and this is the maximum value. And along with that, along with these dates, we are going to create a columns called a year, month number, quarter. Creating a separate calendar table and using it into the time intelligence functions, we have a dedicated video. You can go for that. For time being, using a table to create a date table. This is a kind of a DAX that we are having here. It is going to create a dim table which used to have date, month name, number, quarter and year. For example, if you want to see the years 2013 and 14, we have started with the dates 2013 and 2014. These are the different dates that are available. Based on these dates, we have created dim date as a separate table. This is one of the approach when we get into the tables to be created based on already existing data source. And the fourth approach is when building role-playing dimensions. For example, order date, ship date, and invoice date, and ship date is equal to dim date. These are some of the scenarios that we are going to deal when we connected with role-playing dimensions, which used to have different date keys like order date, ship date, and invoice date. These can be used to track different type of data. For example, if you get into the SSMS, here we have AdventureWorks database. See here, our dim date is connected to fact internet sale. This thing we can get into the Power BI model view as well. I'm trying to explain you these things from here. See, for example, here date key with a dim date. We have a date key in fact internet sales, and we are connected that with a due date, dim date in a dim date table, dimension date table. In the same way, we have another connection. See, for example, here now the order date key is connected with the date key. In the same way, other connection is like ship date is connected with a date key. In this way, some scenarios a date table can be work as a role-playing dimension. In that scenarios, it will be connected to a fact table many times. For example, you get these things into the Power BI modeling. First join is going to be the direct join, and remaining two joins are like a dotted joins. Here to work with these joins, you have to use user relationship function to connect to this tables to get the data. I think you got some idea. I have a dedicated video on this as well in our channel. You can go for that. And the fifth point is when modeling requires a grouping or bucketing. In these kind of situations also, we can go for creating a table. For that, I have a separate DAX for that. When modeling requires a grouping and bucketing, For example, this is a sample DAX that I'm having with me. In the modeling, I'm trying to create a new table here. See, by using this sales bucket table, we are using this financial samples that in sales column we are using. We are creating a sales bucket. So we are switching into different levels. For example, financial sales is less than 1000, it is low, and less than 10,000 it is medium, and financial sales is less than 5000 is high, otherwise it is very high. In this way, we are trying to create a sales bucket table. See, if you get into the sales bucket table, you can see the different values of sales and sales bucket. For example, I'm trying to take another table here. I'm trying to take these values. See, here high sales is, these are the high sales, these are medium sales, these are very high sales. In this way, we can categorize the sales bucket table. If you have a situation like this, you can go for the sales table bucket by using summarize DAX function and switch. You can achieve this kind of scenario. I'll be having this sheet in the description. You can use this use the sheet for these kind of scenarios that you can work with. And coming to the last thing, that is when pre-aggregated summary tables help performance. If you get into these kind of situations also, you can go create a summary table that I'll explain you practically, that I'm having in the sheet. When pre-aggregated summary tables help performance. If you created this kind of a pre-aggregated like tables, these are useful for the performance. Here also, if I want to create a table like this, I have to go to modeling and new table. Here we can have financial summary. We are summarizing based on financial table. We are taking the financial table and financial country, total sales, sum of sales. In this way, we can summarize the data. For example, these are the different tables that we have created. In the beginning, we have connected to the financials. With that, we have created dim dimension, financial sales summary we have created, and financial sales summary, as we explained, financial sales summary. In this way, we have created these two country-wise total sales. If you want to see country-wise total sales, you can use these columns, country-wise total sales. If you want this kind of a scenario to be calculated to a separate table, you can go for this kind of a functionality by using summarize DAX function. By using this summarize also, we can create a separate table. Like these are the different scenarios that we can create a table for using by using a DAX functions for different types of scenarios. And coming to the summary, when not to use calculated table. When the table needs to refresh from a database automatically for very large data sets, adds memory load. If the same result can be achieved in Power Query, no need of creating the tables. Coming to the interview line, use calculated tables when you need to build a new tables. In model, using DAX for bridging tables and summary tables, custom date tables, transformations that depends on existing model data. In these type of situations, we can go and create new tables based on existing database that we have connected. I think you got some idea about these tables to be created. Thank you.
Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Join the GKey community and grow your IT profession with us.